You waiting for calm is exactly wrong. Often it's another dressed up excuse, and I think we all know that life is really calm. There is a certain amount of truth to the idea that sometimes they're easier to start than others, and I get that. And if you are the kind of person where it genuinely helps you to say, hey, I'm going to start on Monday, and that is a difference for you, otherwise not having started at all, then great, that's your win, awesome, we love it. But at the same time, there are some missed opportunities having this approach and some real dangers. What perfectionism, procrastination, and restarting cost you is real. First, there is the just overall lost time that could have been moving you towards your goal, or more importantly, giving you the lessons. So here's something that can happen, where if you are trying to lose weight, let's say it's January 1st, or make it nice and easy, and you are going along with your progress and you know that January is going to be hard, sometimes doing a fat loss phase there or whatever it is can give you insight into what things you're going to struggle with. When if you haven't actually embarked on these things before or haven't embarked on it successfully over and over, where you've got a system where it's down pat, you waiting for February would lose all the lessons you could have had in January. Okay, night time's my trigger, friends are my trigger, instead of whatever else, stress. And if you never actually make the leap to go to it, you never learn lessons. Because often what results can look like, it's the amount of time you're doing the thing where you've got all the lessons and the solutions to those lessons have been applied. So if you've got a year and let's say it took you 2 months fiddling around, another 2 months finding the solutions to those fiddling around, you got 8 months of real progress. Versus you starting 4 months in, that fiddling around doesn't unfortunately go away. You need to dive in the deep end to learn these lessons. So you might now be fiddling around, finding solutions for the same 4 months. Now you've only got 4 months of fat loss for the year. Worse than that, there is a second thing. And I think nearly all of us can relate to this, particularly if you've tried to start a diet on Monday. I've done this, it's crazy, and tell me if this is you. Where you have this one last hurrah kind of thing, where you know that Monday I'm locked into the diet, I'm gonna eat clean, it's gonna be whatever protocol you got. So on Sunday, you go to the bakery, you go to Coles or Woolworths if you're here in Australia, and you get all kinds of cookies, junk food, all this stuff where you're like, I'm gonna eat this food because I won't get to eat it for the next, week, 2 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is. And you end up eating up so much junk where, let's say you've gained, a kilogram, and it takes you 2 weeks in your actual cutting phase to lose that kilogram. That's 2 weeks of fat loss that you wouldn't have had to otherwise do if you didn't have that waiting for the perfect time approach. So instead, and this definitely applies to the perfectionists out there, is be okay with starting imperfectly. Understand that things might not be 10 out of 10, so reduce your expectations towards trying to have 8 out of 10 good weeks, and have an approach of, yes, I can get some wins with some good days, adhering to calories, whatever it is, but also look at it as a time to learn the lessons that would actually be the roadblocks to your fat loss goals. Because the sooner you can find those and then address them, the more successful the future fat loss will be. But you'll never be able to do that unless you actually get started. And often you can never do that unless you get started and are working through the hard times. So again, waiting for the perfect time can be a bit of an excuse, but also it can rob you the best insights of where do I actually struggle and how do I find solutions for those? Because if you can get results during the hard weeks, the easy weeks, well, they become easy. All right, thanks for watching. Like, comment, share, and you know what? Comment where you think the biggest struggle for you might have been and what you've done to conquer it. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.